What you doing, honey?
Roughly measuring.
Roughly measuring. For what?
Some garage, barn, shed thing.
For our pole barn.
Oh, for a pole barn.
You can see my shadow.
I think somebody's here. Possibly.
Tika! Time to relax. Get him. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Tammy here. For those of you who don't know me, I'm in the garden today, just kind of doing some grooming and picking some radishes and doing some fertilizing with some fish fertilizer. Just checking things over. Things are going slow, but it's still happening. I like what I see. I just wish that things were kind of a little bit better. But one thing, if you noticed in the opening, my potatoes are doing amazing. They look so good. Those I'm really extra happy about. And I had to keep my zucchini and my spaghetti squash covered with that white cloth that you saw because the squash bugs were just, they're notorious this year. And I had to keep them covered just so that the plant could get established enough so that, you know, things could start happening. So I am starting to see some blooms happening on both plants, on the zucchini and the spaghetti squash. So I'm happy about that. The beans are starting to pick up. These are my bush beans that are behind me that you saw me fertilizing. But anyway, those are the bush beans. I had to pick off the garlic scapes on the garlic so that they'll start really focusing on the bulb itself back there. And what other things are kind of moving? Well, the peas for sure. We're starting to get some good looking peas. And my cauliflower is finally coming about. Might be too hot. I was afraid that when I planted them, it might have been too late. You know, God only knows. We'll see what happens. Because the weather has been really, really weird. I'm probably chopping my head off here. The weather has been really weird lately. A lot of rain, cool nights. It's not too hot for the root vegetables, but I think in the daytime it is pretty hot for them. So, But lately we've only been going up as high as 21 degrees Celsius, which isn't too bad. Today I think it's a high of 24 or 25. Finally got some of my herbs planted. In one of my other videos you'll see me getting that all ready and some of the herbs planted, but the girls, I've been trying, now I gotta fence that in because the girls are digging up in the beds and plucking up some of the stuff. So I've got things like echinacea and lemon balm and my basil and parsley and all the good stuff in these boxes, and every time I come down I'm checking on them, and I know the girls have been in the box because I see the scratch marks everywhere. So things are looking good, just on the slow side, that's all. So an issue that we're having, we just installed the Premier One electric fence here for the chickens, for our meat birds when we get moving them down here. They're not all working. So I've got this one side here, I can hear the electricity going through it, but mostly on the top wires. I see nothing or feel nothing because I did test it. Nothing on the bottom, and on that side of the fence, nothing. So I'm going to find out from them what they'll do. I can't do anything right now because it's 4th of July for our American friends. So happy 4th of July to all of you from the US. We had our Canada Day July 1st, so we celebrate along with you. We are neighbors and we love each other. So happy and blessed July 4th weekend for you guys. But anyway, so they're closed. I can't contact them until tomorrow. So I'll talk with them and we'll see what kind of service they're going to give me when it comes to this, because I am in Canada, I mean. And it took a while for this shipment to come in when I did order it, so we'll see what they do, right? So Joe cannot handle bugs. Getting eaten alive by black flies and mosquitoes and all that. So in order for me to be able to sit outside in the evening with him, I said, look, let's put our old tent up and get this up so I can sit down with you at nighttime. Because I don't mind them. It doesn't bother me. They're going to get me if they're going to get me. So this is what he made up for me. I bought the lights from Costco, and they're solar lights, so he put them around there, and so we sit here at nighttime and enjoy the night without getting eaten alive. Hey girl, what you doing? How you doing? Having a good day? Don't you dare go in those boxes. No, they're not for you. So here are my herb boxes. In this container though, yeah, right here, that is my peppermint. So I've heard that it can be pretty, like it'll spread. So I thought I better keep it in a container, so I put it in that for now. Along the side here, I've got my lemon balm. In the middle, I've got the echinacea. I also put in some lavender, which is right by that little tag there. I'm not sure. I am seeing something come up, but I did plant some that the girls just destroyed. Here I got some parsley in the corner. Like these two right here is the parsley. I have sage, and German chamomile is in the corner. I have some thyme in the middle. Two different varieties of basil, so a cinnamon and the regular Genevieve. And these are flowers I've got in the corner of this third box for now. But right back there is hollyhock. This right here, I gotta check. Malva. It's a Zabrina, I guess, variety. I just put that in now, actually, which is why the box was still there. And the other is, forget-me-nots, just little tiny blue forget-me-not flowers. I just love them. They're so dainty and sweet. Also, I noticed in that yellow pot there, that I got that for my anniversary from Joe on March 10th is our anniversary. And it was dying in the house. So I thought, you know what, I'm going to bring it into the greenhouse and see what I can do. And I brought it back to life and I got a small little red rose coming. So that's awesome. I haven't gotten to, I've got many pots here of dill. And I have to get them planted. And I want the dill in its own space. So Joe's going to bring home some more soil so I can fill that box so I can plant this dill and get it over there. So also I told that it can also be quite spreading and evasive. I think that's the word I'm looking for. And they need to be in a container type space too. So it's either going to be me bringing one of my big black containers that I have over by the greenhouse and put it in that, or in this box. We'll see. So I thought I would share with you that I'm getting pretty excited about something. My friend of over 30 years is moving just up the road from me. I can't believe it. But anyway, for her privacy, I won't say her name or anything like that until I get her permission. But anyways, I'll show you some footage actually of the area that she got cleared, and I'll do that now. As you can see in the picture, she got a fair amount of trees moved. She got a nice area that she can drive into, and this is going to be a wonderful spot for her and her husband. So I don't know about you, but I've been watching a fair amount of homesteading videos lately, reading comments that they're getting and things like that. Some obviously supportive, some not so much. And I think, with the way things are going nowadays, you just see so much separation, division, whatever you want to call it, left, right. One thing I am noticing is that within the homesteading community, supporting each other and then trying to create a community from where you're at. Many of you know Roots and Refuge, Jessie, and she's talking a lot about building community, basically growing where you're at and doing what you can to not only provide for your family, but also getting involved within your community, finding out who is who, like who is who, and what they do and things like that, and coming together pretty much like they did back in the olden days, that we would say olden days, but grandma and grandpa's days and their parents were community joined together. When it came to harvest season, everybody helped each other. You see a lot of that still going on in the Amish communities, Mennonite communities and things like that. And I really, really appreciate that kind of moral standard in helping one another during good times and tough times. And right now, I do believe that we are in a process of going towards some tough times. And I've said in my previous videos before that, no matter where you're at, you can still provide for yourself, prepare for yourself and your family, and getting food and things like that, because there's a lot of stuff going on that we're not even seeing in the news. So there's some stuff going on in other countries that are going to affect us, but the news hasn't caught up to it yet. So for me, if I am going to listen to any kind of news, which is very rare, I've shut off the TV years ago. I shut that off. I was never one to watch the news. One, because it was always depressing. And I always try to keep my, what I feed into my mind positive. I try to stay faith-filled within my faith. And there's just a lot of corruption going on. And it doesn't have to be just in the leaders of our countries, no matter where we're at, but because you're always going to get a bad apple somewhere. But it just seems to be getting a lot more frequent. What I want to say about if I am going to watch any kind of news, I will watch the news that the other countries are bringing out, they're putting out there. You know, the Australian news or China news, all that. And right now, I believe the Dutch have been standing up, the Dutch farmers have been standing up against the WEF, telling, because of the fertilizer and all that stuff. So it's stopping a lot of the farmers from farming. If you check out, go on YouTube or wherever to find out, but they are lining up the highways with cars and trucks, and they're protesting is what they're doing. So just like they did at the Canadian truckers there in Ottawa, they're doing the same thing. So I think Canada really set the stage for the people around the world to start standing up for their democracy. And with just celebrating Canada Day, can't help but be a little proud of that. I really believe, though, that homesteading is, whether you've got acreage or living in an apartment, it doesn't matter. Homesteading is homesteading. If you are preparing, if you are making meals for your family, if you are growing food in any way, or even getting the food from the grocery store, preparing it and canning it and storing it, you're still homesteading. It doesn't matter. But because that homesteading word can kind of be all over the place, and thinking that it can only be just for people who have land and all that. But homesteading is creating your own lifestyle based on, you know, the choices that you want to make for you and your family. To me, I just think that no matter what you're doing to, I guess, prepare for the certain things that are going to be coming down the pipes, as I keep saying, I really think that this year, 2022, is kind of like setting the stage for things. I don't want to come across as a conspiracy theorist and all that, because we're all accused of that if we start talking about the things that are, you know, going to be happening in the next year or two or three, or by 2030. But I'm just noticing that a lot of the YouTubers, the homesteaders who are sharing the truth, they're sharing the truth about what's going on. I have a hornet stuck in here. They're sharing the truth about what's going on, and we're being reprimanded by people through nasty comments. The truth is starting to come out, and more people are starting to see what the homesteading community has been talking about for the last couple of years. And that I'm grateful. I pray every day that more people will open their eyes and see. So I ask the Lord every single day, show the people what's going on. Show your glory. Show them who you are so that they're able to see what's going on. Because without him, we can't see what's behind the curtain, so to speak. And with him, he gives us sneak peeks, and just enough to give us some warning. And the ultimate warning is, if you are a believer in Jesus and you open up the Bible and you read, he warned us about all this stuff going on. And that's the kind of God that I am so humble to serve, is that he pre-warned the way the world is going to be, how it's going to turn turn against itself. And it's depressing to hear that, but the hope is what he's going to do after, and what he can do in your life now. He's changed my life in more ways than one. But I think in the last couple of years, he's really opened up my eyes. And I've been so quiet within myself, that I almost don't necessarily feel like myself. I'm quiet, and I'm observing and just kind of watching things happen as he's been sharing with me, I guess. whether it's in my devotional private prayer time, or when I'm reading the Bible, or just being out here in the garden and stuff like that, and a thought will come into my head, and it'll be definitely something that I would not have thought of. So I'm blaming it on the Holy Spirit, just kind of popping these thoughts into my head and things that make me go, yeah, I can see that happening, Lord. And so, but my hope and my trust is always going to be in Him, no matter what happens in this world. And I can't stress it enough to really kind of look into who He is if you don't know who He is. Search for Him, knock, the door will always be open, seek and you will find, as He says, and ask and you will get the answers that you're looking for, because He's a giving Father. He's you can't even put words into the love that you have for your Lord and Savior. But anyway, yeah, so just when I'm kind of sitting alone in quiet time, or like I said, in the garden, just thoughts come into my head, and I have to agree with whatever the thought is, because it's so there in our face. And a lot of times, a few days later, if not the next day, like my father could be listening to the news, and then all of a sudden I hear it in the back of my ear, because I could be off in the kitchen or something, and I'll hear something, and it'll be exactly what God told me. And I just smile and I look up and thanks for warning me. Thanks for telling me. So I don't know. I felt the need to kind of share that, what was on my heart, and I feel real quiet lately, and not quite sure what to do with that quietness. What He is wanting me to do. Maybe it is that He's just wanting me to, be still, be quiet, know that I'm your God, and that He's got everything under control, which I've always known He's got everything under control. But I do find that if I am watching the news too much, or hearing too much, it can get pretty unsettling. And so I know that I'm speaking for a lot of people, that it can get you full of fear and anxieties and all that stuff. But if we keep our eyes focused on the Creator Himself and the Provider, I think we're going to be in a lot better mental, emotional, spiritual, physical being than if we just stayed focused on the bad things that are happening in the world, and all the different changes that are going on. Because no matter what, the changes are going to happen, and we can't do anything about it. And there's a lot of things that I really don't want to change. And I know the biggest thing right now is in the States, the Roe versus Wade reversal. Being a Christian and a follower of Jesus Christ, I support life. I can't be a professing Christian and then stand up for something like that. And there's so many people that, I've been attacked on social media because I believe in pro-life and speaking up for the babies, being the voice for those babies. I am one who did experience an abortion years ago when I was younger, and so I know both sides of the fence. Now that I'm on this side of the fence and I'm a born-again Christian, and I can see where the stupidity was on my part for my actions that I did, the things that you find out later, anyway, that's another story. But I've been attacked over the whole pro-life thing, and we're going to get that, especially in this day and age. I just find that it's a very, dare I say, selfish, all about me kind of mentality, and what makes you feel good, what makes whatever's right for you and stuff like that. But that's really what I call the devil's lie, because it's not always about you. It's not always about me. And sometimes when we get too engulfed in that, it can look pretty ugly. So, and people will say things and do things to you that are totally uncalled for, especially, you know, the ones that know you, the ones that claim to and say that they love you. And as soon as you have an opposing opinion, now you're the enemy. So the world doesn't know truth, and unfortunately it doesn't care to know truth. But I'm still to be the light of this dark world and do what I can to spread the good news of Jesus Christ, and I will. I'm not gonna forfeit my faith to keep you comfortable. Even to keep myself comfortable, you know, I could be reading the Bible and I will read something and go, ooh, that's harsh, or how could that happen, or why would you do that, Lord, or, you know, things like that. But He's a righteous God, and He knows what's best. He knows mankind. He created us, so He knows how we operate. And we're full of anger and pride, you know. So, but we have to, as Christians and the Christian viewers of this channel, would probably agree that we do have to love more than ever before. We need to show the love, because there's so much, there's lack of it. There's lack of love and just so much hate and division. And what I began starting this discussion is that there's so much division going on, and me seeing you know, the comments in other channels, it's heartbreaking. And when I do see those comments, hate-filled comments, I pray for that person. They don't know that I'm praying for them, but I'm praying for that person. I won't comment back at them. I won't even add my own comment to the channel or anything like that. I just feel that God can do more than I can. But if God moves me to say something or to do something, then I must be obedient to do that. Last week, I had a friend contact me, and she wanted to talk more about the Bible, and that was just out of nowhere. But I felt so humble that God chose me to be the one to go share. I'm still wrapping my head around that. You know, He could have used anybody else, but He chose me. So that's a very humbling experience. So I really don't know where this video was headed. I know I started in the garden and fertilizing and stuff, and then I sit down and get talking to you. I haven't done it in a while, I don't think. I guess it is what it is. I obviously had to share that, and you know, I'd love to hear your opinions of what's going on. Keep it positive, but if you feel the need to say something nasty to me, then so be it. But just know I'll be praying for you. Because that's all I can do. I'm not here for, you know, to cause any kind of anger or debate. There's good, healthy debate, but I'm not here to argue with anybody either. So I'm here to love as much as I can, and pray for the ones who persecute me. The Lord told me that they'll hate me because they hated Him first. So if He can say that to me and tell me that He will be with me and walk me through it all, then I can be confident to keep my head up high and walking and doing the best I can in my day-to-day life. So I'm going to get my radishes in. They're kind of starting to look a little wilty, so they've got to get washed and prepared and stuff. I've been using them as roasted potatoes for my diet. I'm on the Ideal Protein diet, and I've been using them. And I just got my first 20 pounds off. That's my first goal. So yay me, I got 20 pounds off, and I'm on the verge of, or I'm on my next goal, which is another 20 pounds. But I'm trying to do it in 10-pound increments so it doesn't sound so big. So every time I lose 2 pounds, which is pretty much a pound and a half to 2 pounds a week, and I get to the 10 pounds, so I'm like, oh, I'm halfway there. So even though I've got a total of 70 pounds to lose, anyway, it just sounds better. But I'm gonna get these radishes in. I'm done fertilizing for the day. It's getting warmer and warmer now. Starting to, well, it should be lunchtime soon here. So it's not a very long video, but I hope you enjoyed listening to me talking and sharing what I was doing in the garden, things like that. I just want everybody to know that God loves you, I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Take care, and we'll see you later. Bye for now.